Hey there, YouTuber. So in this video featuring the i9-12900, we're going to take a look at whether it is beneficial to have either a 1x8 CPU power connector, or if you happen to have a motherboard that supports two 1x8s. So what are we going to do in the video to show that? I'm going to run two different benchmarks. One is the XTU benchmark and the other is Cinebench R20. Now the information we're going to look at are the bench scores, and we're also going to look at the max power usage. On the left you'll see a camera pointed to a device that will allow us to see the overall power that this computer uses. And so just to talk about the computer itself, or the motherboard, because it's not really in a case, it has a i9-12900 in it. It's a Z690 MSI Pro motherboard. Has one M.2 on it, 2 sticks of RAM, and a Noctua dual tower CPU cooler with a single fan. The power supply is an EVGA 850 GQ, that's gold. And so that's basically what the computer has in it. Right now you see it is using 29 watts. That's the number on the right. And unfortunately we can't get the camera to focus any better. This is basically saying how long we have battery power, right? But the value on the right is what you want to look at from there. Alright, so we're going to use XTU. Basically we're going to look at both of these, and I'm going to clear this out. So right now we've got it set up for a 1x8. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the benchmark, and I'm going to make sure I write these down. Alright, so we have a score of 7493. And one thing that we want to do is verify if current limit throttling turned on. That's a no. And then as far as wattage goes, 191, 189, so we'll just go with 191. I did not watch the screen to see what the overall system was, but it should have been somewhere over 200 watts. Alright, so we're going to leave this open and run into the background so we can check R20. So I want you to be able to see this. We're going to clear this data. Alright, let's run the R20 benchmark. Should be relatively fast. And now this time I'm also looking at total system power. 270 gets up to. Power limit throttling came on. $68.69. So let's see something here, folks. Power usage 199, so that went up. Did this come on? That was a no, but we did have power limit throttling, which we saw. So how do we get rid of power limit throttling normally? Turbo boost, alright? We're going to increase this PL1 here to unlimited. That will turn turbo boost power PL2 to unlimited. So we'll apply that. And just in case you're not familiar with that, it just so happens, one of the things for power limit throttling to get rid of this is that is set too low. Alright? So we're going to run this again. And I'm just jotting down some notes here. We'll make sure the CPU cools off. So this Noctua gets the job done, folks. Considering we've got a couple programs on. And I'm going to close this. Alright, back to the benchmark. So this is a 1x8 with power limit set to unlimited. And what I'm expecting is a higher score. And no power limit throttling. And it looks like slightly more wattage. Okay, 8442, so huge difference between the last score, which was 7493. Power wise, 192 watts, which is insignificant. And I did not see power limits or current limit come on. I'll mark that as a no. Alright, CPU is almost back to its temperature. Let's go ahead and get Cinebench going again. Now, we were at 60, 68, 69. We should beat that this time, folks. I will tell you that. Keep an eye down here, though, okay? And here we go. Current limit throttling, okay? So that's a problem. Or is it a problem? And you can see power. We got up to at least 199 I saw. And current limit is pegged. Alright, so 201. 201 it says. No power limit at that time. And the score was 9296. So that was a significant increase, folks, just by changing the power limits. I don't think I did this, not that it mattered, but let's clear this. Actually, we're going to shut down. So at this point, folks, we're switching over to two 1x8s. So let me shut down the computer. And I'm going to leave it recording, talk to you through this. So the PC is off, and now I'm plugging in the additional 1x8, at least I'm trying to. Not the easiest thing to do in the world. Alright, now we're going to fire it back up. So another thing you guys get to see here is, as it's booting up, power. 37 watts, the whole system, 38 watts, 111 for a moment there, and boom, right into Windows. Now I have this set up so that it bypasses the login. I'll have a link down below in case that's something you're interested in. So we're back in here. Let's go ahead and get XTU open. And we are not going to mess with power limits. We're going to leave them maxed out. At least hopefully they're still maxed out. Alright, clear this out. I'm going to wait till this gets down back to 27. There may be some stuff going on in the background. I'm going to pause the video a moment while that drops down. Alright, so we're close enough. Let's clear this out, or we were close enough. There we go. And alright, sorry, we had a Windows installer going on in the background. Clear this out one more time and go ahead and hit it. So I see no power limit or current limit throttling, which is really what I'm concentrating on. And it's done. So that, folks, was our highest XTU score, 8476. We had no power limit throttling and no current limit throttling, and then the wattage used 193, so that's ever so slightly higher than the first time, but potentially power was more evenly distributed, right? So cleaner power, however you want to refer to that, less noise. So let's go ahead, and once again, this is with the 2x2 1x8. Let's go ahead and get Cinebench going. And while that loads up, let me clear this out. So we're back to about 27 degrees. And if we're lucky, we will not see power limit throttling or current limit throttling. And we'll get a higher score. I just have this sense, folks, it is cranking a little harder this time, that we're going to end up higher. I'm expecting to be right under 10,000. 9376. So that's not my best score here, but in comparison, it is. Alright, so I did not see, make sure you call me on it if you did see it in the video. I didn't see current limit or power limit, so that's a huge positive. Power used 201. So that ties the highest, which was the last round. Alright, so this video has basically proven what, folks? Adding that additional 1x8 is a little more efficient, I would say, for your power to the CPU, right? We did not have the issue with current limit throttling that we had with the 1x8, and it appears we lost our page that we were on. So these are other things that we could potentially do for current limit throttling. But I would say, folks, that this is actually what gets solved here. Could be wrong. Don't shoot me if I am wrong, but you know, when it says not able to provide high enough current, well, you would think that it's the CPU power feeding the motherboard, feeding the CPU. Doesn't necessarily state that here, but that to me would explain why two 1x8s does not give you the current limit throttling. Overall, we saw improvements in scores. Mainly it was the power limits, so if you don't use power limits and you want to set a higher benchmark, that's the way you do that. Of course, that leads to a hotter CPU, something we did not write down, but your CPU will get hotter. So if you're using the stock cooler, which I am not, expect that your CPU cooler may end up hitting thermal limit throttling doing these benchmarks. But there you go, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.